Alright, hey everyone. Today I'm going to talk about how to stay motivated. Um, Really, it's just you deciding what you want to do and that you're going to do it no matter what. Um, Even though there is a lot of drive involved, really it's more about habit making than anything. If you make the right habits at the right times, you're going to make it to your goal, whether or not you stumble. Because if you have those habits in place, you'll always fall back on what you're usually going to do. So as long as you start using tools to your advantage that are going to create better habits for yourself, you'll make it. Keeping everything on a time schedule really helps. Make sure that you hold yourself accountable to it, especially if you're a student in the summer. Sometimes it gets really difficult, but as long as you try and keep yourself consistent, do the same kinds of things at the same time of day, you'll be able to stay consistent on what you want to do. Me personally, I have a to-do list every day on paper, and along with the special things that I have on this side, I do have things that I have to check off regularly on this side. As you can see, it's somewhat of a chart. That's just something that I do, and it keeps me doing the same things at the same times every day so that I can make sure I get everything done and I'm still moving towards my goal every day and I'm not wasting any time. Then everything else has to be tracked on paper as well, especially for me at least. I feel better when it's all down on paper so I don't have to keep it all in my head. That helps too, so you don't feel as stressed out about it. It's just right in front of you and you can deal with it as it comes. Personally, I think affirming yourself every day is something that you should do because a very well-known bodybuilder, I get my information from them, but Kai Green is somebody that I look up to a lot, and he personally says thoughts become things. I believe that. If your thought life is negative, then everything you're going to do is going to turn out negative. You're not going to get anywhere if you're always thinking about how somebody's better than you or because you're lacking somewhere or that you keep on messing up. Because if you keep on thinking about your mistakes, you're just going to keep on repeating them. There's no way to end a negative cycle unless you just stay positive. And it's really difficult to start, and you feel kind of like a hypocrite when you start affirming yourself. Especially when you feel really negative about yourself, it's really hard for you to say, I am the best me I can be. I am doing everything possible to do what I have to do. I am a good friend. I am a good mentor to people. I love to work hard. Things like that. Especially when it feels like the complete opposite of what you actually feel like. Eventually, you fake it until you make it. Because each time you say it to yourself, it becomes better affirmed in your own mind. I mean, our lives, really, our memories are what make us who we are. And if you keep on creating that memory over and over again of a positive thought, then that's going to be rewired into your brain for you to think. I mean, if you keep on telling yourself you're a bad person, then you're not really going to care anymore. You're just going to think that. If you keep on telling yourself you're a good person and you keep on making the effort to be one, then you're just going to have it wired into your brain and you're going to be acting and being the best person you can be. That's the way it works. So I personally have a page of self-affirmations that I do every night before I go to bed. Keep them in my mind so they kind of sink in better. I guess it's a little bit cheesy. Sorry. It's just something I do. I always keep also in my mind a list of things I'm grateful for, which is helpful. It keeps you positive. And that could be anything. It could be little things, big things. You could be thankful for your mother having given birth to you, or that you have clean water, or that you have a toilet you can use. Or then it's big things, like you're so grateful that you're in a happy relationship, or you're so happy that you got a job, or that your job's going well, or that you are grateful to yourself for putting in the effort to do what you want to do. It could be anything. You can be grateful for any situation. You just gotta believe it. I also made a personal contract with myself with a list of things that I have to do and hold myself accountable for every day. And I know this all sounds very, very cheesy, and kind of magical and voodoo, but not really voodoo, but you get my point. But they're all things that I believe are really helpful to progressing as a person. Like, when you feel angry at somebody else, realize that you may have the same actions as they do in their current situation. So realize that and try to grow from that experience rather than be angry at them, because anger doesn't help you. Or promise yourself that you will respect yourself and the world around you at all times. Just simple things, just regular human people should always follow. And I also keep a journal of things that I do during the day. It kind of gives you perspective on what you're doing as compared to anybody else, or what you've done in the past, what you hope to do in the future. It just keeping yourself on notice with a book that you're writing for yourself really helps to keep you on track with what you're doing. It kind of keeps you moving forward, because you don't want to be writing absolutely nothing in the story of you. So, I guess other than that, your motivation has to be from inside of yourself. You can't have anybody else make the choice to do something for you. It just doesn't work that way. I mean, having support from other people is really important, and that's kind of part of the reason why I'm doing this. But really, it has to come from you. All of your choices have to be made by you, for you, not for anybody else. And when you find your reason why, exactly why you're doing something, you will do it. Your reasons will push you forward. It doesn't matter what struggles get in your way. So, stay strong. I hope you enjoyed the tips that I had, and maybe one of you, will apply one of the tips that I gave. I find them helpful. You may not, but who knows until you give them a try. Alright, good night.